be able to get it set up, but we'll see.
Mm.
Right, there we go. We are here. We've arrived. Lovely stuff. The only thing I need to do is make sure you can see what I want you to see. And there we go. Right, hello everyone. This is Juicy McGee. This is our wonderful friend Phil. And we are back.
Right.
And we are, well, in full force. We're doing some Pokemon wins and Pokemon waves chat. We've got a long wait until 2027 when the games launch, and so plenty of time to make some predictions and try and pick each other's brains. So we've gone away. We've planned 10 predictions or things we hope to see, and that involves. I'm actually going to mute this music in the background because I think that will help. But essentially, yeah, we're going to be. I am hearing a bit of an echo of myself. I'm not too sure. You hearing that at all? I don't know. It must just be me. But yeah, we've both gone away, set 5 predictions, and we have no idea what each other have written. So it's going to be really exciting, really fun. And we're going to be taking it in turns to share our predictions. Phil, how are you doing your predictions? What's your plan?
I've no expenses spared, man. I have written them down on an envelope. But it's not the presentation, it's the ideas that are important.
Yeah.
And it's the buzz, it's the excitement. Man, I can't believe we've got a year to wait.
Yeah.
But
it's funny.
I think,
yeah. I'm feeling
the
so
drip feeding that we get over the next year is going to be mad, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm quite happy
I'm
it being
excited.
so far away, to be honest. Initially, I was very gutted. But actually, I think, we've got plenty of time for other
this could
things.
be the best
coming.
game they've ever done. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be because of that wait, it could be insane.
I'd rather we had a long wait and a really decent game, for sure. I think I liked Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know, there are a lot of people that didn't, and I think they need to smash it this time.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. So, how should we start off? Should I start? Should we take it in turns?
Go for it, bro. Yeah, you go first.
Right.
You go first.
Okay. Here we go. So this is our lovely GC McGee Pokemon Wins and Pokemon Waves prediction cover or title page. And we're about to move on. So my first prediction, my first of 5 predictions, bear with me. I think we're getting some new evolutions. I think it's well overdue. I think it's been a very long time. So I'm thinking it's been a very long time, hasn't it? It's been a few generations since we've had any. And I've got a very specific idea in mind. I think Gen 10, it's perfect timing for them to kind of have another one. I know that there was some rumoured before that they had to kind of scrap because of fan-made artwork looking too much like something that they'd created, but at least that's kind of the story. But I'm thinking we're going to get 2 new evolutions. Okay, so to date there are 8 and Eevee, so 9 Pokemon there. I think one of them is going to be a flying type. Okay, so just going with the theme of wind and waves, I think there's going to be a kind of a wind or weather-inspired one. I believe it's going to be quite a sort of a puffy, cloudy kind of shape. So there's going to be lots of kind of... I don't know if it will be necessarily like the kind of Pokemon that has wings, but I can envisage kind of wings made of clouds, and it just being quite puffy and kind of light and kind of like a cloudy, puffy Eevee. And I just think that it's coming, and it makes a lot of sense for it to come now, really. And then next one was, I think we've already got a water type with Vaporeon. So what's next? If we're to think about wind and waves as themes, I feel like maybe crashing against the rocks, or sort of how the ground is manipulated by the water. I feel like a ground/rock type might be on the cards too. And they can both be very heavily kind of weather inspired, but I feel like there's going to be a flying one and there's going to be a rock or ground type Eevee, and they're both, when you look at the typings that we have already got, they're the two kind of gaps, or especially like a ground and rock type. We haven't really got anything quite like that. But I think it's most likely to kind of be similar to this image in the middle, this reference in the middle, where we've got kind of like bits of rock or gravel or ground essentially built into its design. As much as I think some of these designs are really cool, I think these kind of elements are amazing. But I also love the idea of this ground Eevee being able to kind of like curl up into a ball and roll around like Sandshrew, or maybe use its kind of fur as like a shield from like sandstorms. I don't know. I think there's a lot of really cool fan-made designs, and I don't envy Pokemon trying to design something original, because it's absolute. They have to do something really out of the ordinary, really, to keep it safe. But yeah, Phil, your thoughts. Was it an evolution on your list?
It wasn't on my list, so it was actually, I thought about it earlier in the week, and I was gonna chuck it on my list. I had been tempted to chuck it on my list. I was gonna go a different type than you. I love the idea of flying, because I think you're right, that does tie exactly into winds and waves. I think that's a really cool idea, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. I also thought ground.
Okay.
And I thought steel.
Steel, okay.
Now, the reason I was thinking ground and steel is because if you look at the evolutions we got so far, the only two that don't have a direct counter are Jolteon and Sylveon.
Okay.
So, Vaporeon's beaten by Jolteon, Flareon's beaten by Vaporeon, Leafeon's beaten by Flareon, and so on.
Yeah.
But Jolteon's got nothing. So a ground one fits in there, and then the ground's beaten by Glaceon or whatever. But also Sylveon, well, you'd have to be steel or poison, do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
And so I'm just thinking it could be a quite interesting way of introducing two more, which then sort of balances out all the evolutions a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be really nice. I think it's inevitable.
Story-wise, I'd prefer yours.
I think inevitably there'll be more in the future, or perhaps I could see them going a different direction with it, having like a convergent species, sort of a convergent sort of alternative to Eevee, and that having an evolution. But I just think this kind of binary within the game, I think, winds and waves, and actually quite a lot of my predictions have been quite heavily inspired by that. So yeah, new evolutions. I'm gonna, while you're talking about your first prediction, I'm actually gonna go back to my title page so that it's. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna have a. No, yeah, I will. It will look better. There we go. Right. Your first prediction. What are you thinking?
I've played it safe for number one. I thought I'd start off.
Already excited.
Bless you.
Yeah,
bless you.
Thank you.
He's allergic to my ideas.
Too good.
Well, this one's basic, but I'm hoping that I'm sure it's something that we're going to get. Obviously, I want it to be. It's going to be open world, but I would like to see more of the open world of it. So I'd like to see more of us as a character, like being able to climb. Again, we talked about Breath of the Wild when we did the thing. I'd like to see more. It would be great to have more like a Breath of the Wild style exploration of the world.
Yeah.
Is what I'd really like. But also, I really want them to bring back the resources collection from Legends Arceus.
The resources collection? Remind me, what was the resources collection?
As in, so, like collecting resources a little bit. Like, a bit like Pokopia as well, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
But to make a Pokeball, you'd have to get apricorns from the trees, and you'd have to get this and that and the other. I don't think it should be everything. I think you should still be able to buy stuff. but I think having some form of like, oh, I'm going to go to the forest and
almost.
collect these things that, just as something to make it so that you want to explore the world, rather than just being like, oh, I'm going to go there because I've not been there before. It's more like, I'm going to go there and, I found this item that can do this. Do you know what I mean?
I completely get that. Especially with the way that the world seems to be designed, it's we need to be kind of rewarded for that exploration, don't we? For sure.
Yeah. So I think that could be quite a fun little extra for the game.
So number one is having that as like a concept.
Yeah. Just that sort of, just basically stealing from the games they've done before that I think revolutionised the series. Do you know what I mean?
I completely agree, and I think actually as well, there's, for instance, like with Arceus and with Pokopia, as two games have been incredibly successful, and I don't think maybe they hadn't quite anticipated how successful they would have been. I think, especially when you consider Scarlet and Violet, anything that Arceus did right, Scarlet and Violet did not have enough time to really benefit from finding that out. Whereas when we're looking further down the line, they're going to be able to sort of implement these changes, aren't they? And the things that have proven to be successful, even if they're really subtle, like the shiny sound that everyone adores.
Yeah.
Need to have that actually as a key, I think.
And then the panic of going, where is it? I heard it, I can't see it. Where is it? Yeah.
There's always a little fletchling, isn't it, in the corner of the. Okay, no, amazing. Yeah. But no, I completely agree. I feel like that's. I feel like it's a given, but I'm worried that it might not be. I think it feels so right that it would be really shocking and upsetting if it wasn't.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially with the underwater exploration, because that needs to be really incentivized, doesn't it?
I'm just going to tie something else into that because I'm a monster.
Crazy.
And I don't play by your rules, actually, Ollie. I don't play by your rules. I want to see, as a part of that, I want to see gym level scaling.
Yep.
I think one thing that held Scarlet and Violet back was that it was open world, but if you went up to gyms number 7, then you're stuck with a level 10 Quaxley fighting against a level 50 Baxcalibur, which is hilarious. I love that. But at the same time, I think having some sort of level scaling, either or maybe in wild Pokemon and in the gyms, would have really sort of. It's difficult though because I quite liked going up north and finding a level 50 Dragonite and throwing every Pokeball I had in my bag at it. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There might be some sort of happy medium, some sort of thing in the middle that would get the best of both worlds. I don't know.
No, I know what you mean. I think especially if you're going to have like an XP share system, having this level scaling is essential, isn't it? Really, I think. Just to keep it sort of exciting and fresh, that's important. But I likewise, I do feel like there's times where having like an easier starter zone and like more challenging sort of areas that is a must too. But especially with the big battles, we kind of need some sort of scaling. Even if it's just that our rival is kind of on par with us, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Even if the rest of the game didn't scale, like just having them scale would feel good, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, at some point you've got to there's got to be some sort of level scaling because otherwise you just feel like a bit of a monster when you're sort of basically booting a puppy across the room. Because do you know what I mean? It's like
that's going to happen as well, isn't it, with Pombon?
Well, exactly. When I've got a level 100 big Brout or whatever it's going to be called. And then I'm sort of just, it's killing the dog, man. Like, there's got to be some sort of level scaling to keep it a fair fight.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
it's fingers crossed. And that's kind of tied in then with your first point.
Please don't clip that, by the way. Please don't clip that and put that on YouTube because I'm going to look like an absolute monster. Yeah, Phil talks about killing a dog. So,
Don't
Right.
kick the
Anyway,
baby.
you can't, quick, distract them. Go on with your next one.
All right, I have to fly through. All right, here you go. And then who? Let's just quickly check that chat. Just clipped it. Oh, cheers. Thanks for that. Thanks for tuning in, Nicholas.
Well, oh man, I quite liked it when I had a career. That was great. So that's out
Right.
the window.
Here we go. I'm so excited about a lot of these, I have to say. I mean, there are only 5, but right. Australia.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain. Okay, so we know that it's set in Southeast Asia. We're mainly in sort of Indonesia, but within sort of the kind of the map, especially the leaked map, I feel there's a strong possibility that DLC or in base game that will be going to sort of the very north of Australia. I think it would work really well, and then simply just because of where we are with where we are in the world, I'm hoping that there'll be kind of some Australian themed animals, because as much as there are some incredible possibilities, in Southeast Asia anyway, I just think some Australian Pokemon would be amazing. So another thing to bear in mind is that I'm trying to remember what it's called. There was a famous biologist that discovered that there's this kind of line. I'm trying to remember what it's called now, but essentially there's lots of animals one side of the line when you look at the map, and lots of animals on the other side of the map, on the other side of the line, and they will never, for whatever reason, they'll just never go to the other side of this particular line, and so you get all these fascinating species of animals that just live in particular parts of Southeast Asia, but they'll never migrate. But it's when you look at the map and their like migration patterns, it literally just splits down in a straight line. But it's quite fascinating. So I'm hoping that will kind of inspire some Pokemon. So my second point, Australia, is a bit of a cheat one, because essentially I've come up with, I think, 4 or 5 Pokemon that I think would be fantastic additions that are Australian themed, and they're all related to Pokemon that already exist. So first things first, and I think this is an absolute must. It blows my mind that it doesn't already exist. I think we need a baby called Kanga. Of Kangaskhan.
You son of a gun, I'm in.
But
Give me
how
that now,
it blows my mind that this exists and isn't just considered to be a baby. You know, it's a baby Kangaskhan essentially, but it's in a complete different form. So I just think Kanga for the win. Kanga's coming in, I think. We need a baby Kangaskhan. We need a baby Kanga. Thoughts, Phil? What do you think?
I'm down. Give me the baby Kanga. I need it. The plushies would go hard, man. The plush of Kanga.
Well, the thing is, it's so cute, and it already exists. It's a no-brainer, I think. I don't. Yeah. Especially if Dreepy, if you consider Dreepy and Dracobolt, that whole line, there's no reason why we couldn't have Kanga as a separate Pokemon that just happens to live in the pouch of Kangaskhan.
I agree, but you know someone's going to do a fan art, so they're going to take Dreepy but make it a Kangaskhan, shooting out 2 little Kangas.
Yeah, but the thing is, Pokemon already own this design, so it's one of the safest things they could possibly do.
It's a good point. It is a good point, and I do like it. And we've seen it, when Kangaskhan Megas, that little thing smacks some people about. So
and I have to say, these Pokemon get more exciting as well. So next one, I think it'd be really cool if there was a convergent variant of Psyduck, but it doesn't have to be called Platyduck, but just some other. I'm thinking sort of like is it quadrupedal? So basically a Psyduck that's on all 4s and loses its psychic typing and is all ground or water ground. But it doesn't have psychic typing anyway. Actually, it's just water. But I just think having a sort of Psyduck that has that kind of variety would be amazing. So basically, I've got a baby Pokemon, I've got a convergent Pokemon. What do you think? Thoughts, Phil, on the idea of
This
Platyduck?
entire video has been a mistake because Ollie, if I don't get Platyduck, I'm going to riot. I just you've changed something within me.
Well, you know how
I need it.
you were predicting how the water starter for Gen 10 was going to be a platypus, and I'm wondering, is this the reason that we couldn't have a platypus starter? Because for them, it made complete sense to have a platypus of some other kind of sort.
Man, I need it. I need it.
I don't think I'd want Psyduck and Platyduck to look quite like this. This isn't my art or anything. This is just stuff I found online. But I just think like a ground heavy sort of type of Psyduck or Platyduck would be incredible. It'd be super cool. And an amazing one to see in the wild.
Show me something that I'm going to hate, please. Because I'm about to cry.
All right,
I need to save him.
Some of these are really cool. There's only 2 more, but I do feel like they could be genuine things. All right, here's the next one.
Go on then.
Kamala-Bee. Okay, so the idea, I don't think it would look like this, okay, but I think Kamala as a little koala, I think it would be really cool if Kamala could evolve. And I think instead of, I think wallabies and kangaroos are quite similar animals, and I'm wondering if maybe they would combine the two, and you'd have like Kamala-Bee. So that's where Kamala and wallaby kind of meet in the middle. What I'm picturing is that Kamala would be very similar to the past, but I think the main difference would be it kind of hugs and just sort of lounges and sits on its little log that it carries. So it's quite possessive of its log, but like, I don't think it's going to be like really aggressive or, you know. There's a lot of fan art of Kamala evolutions that kind of imply that it's going to be this like big tank and that kind of thing, and I just think I don't think it's going to ever be like anything crazy. I just think it's going to maybe stand up a little bit more and be a little bit more attached to its log, essentially.
Well, you don't want it to be too similar to like Pangoro and that line, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's it. And then also,
too similar.
I think this fan art of the Kamala's sort of like head, that does a really good job of kind of capturing sort of what sort of a Kamala wallaby crossover could look like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was.
No, I like it. I like it.
And then the last one is something I'm excited about simply because it makes a Pokemon that isn't viable way more viable, and it would be blooming cool, especially with how much it had to be a water type essentially because of how much sea we're going to be exploring. But check this out, the fact that this doesn't exist anymore kind of makes me sad. Mantitan. So not Mantike, not Mantine, but Mantitan, where it gains an electric typing. And it's just a massive manta ray. Or a stingray, rather. But yeah, I just think that would be amazing. And once again, not my art, but I just think it just looks so good. Having a massive stingray called Mantitan that just is another menace in the sea. Because I mean, I don't know if everyone remembers having to deal with Sharpedos in Sword and Shield, but they were irritating as hell. And then Veluza was very irritating in Scarlet and Violet, and I just think we need some more threats in the sea, essentially, and I think Mantitan could be one of them.
I'm liking the thought that Mantine, whatever it is, has Remoraid's under its fins, and then this is going to have like massive Octilleries under its fins or something. Like,
what, they're just like kind of like upside down, just like wrapped around.
They're like stuck onto it, sort of thing. Like that'd be quality.
That's amazing. Oh dear. But yeah, so that's my second one. I just think we're so close to Australia that it would just be really nice to go there, or to have some Pokemon that are kind of inspired by that region too.
I love it. I love them. I need them.
I'm just going to quickly find out what the name of the line is in. It's called like something beginning with W. Don't cross. I don't know. Let's just quickly see. I'm really intrigued to know what it's called. The Wallace line. There you go. So yeah, it goes right across Malaysia, essentially, near Bali and Borneo, and it separates the tigers and elephants from the kangaroos and koalas, essentially. And it's just there's no actual barrier. There's nothing actually sort of stopping the land in any way. It's just the animals just don't cross. They know that that's their side, and it's baffling. So I just think if they kind of fed into that in some way, that'd be awesome.
It's great. First of all, it's crazy. And sorry, I'm just picking this up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's crazy, and second of all, I need to get my hearing checked because I literally thought you went, I need to find out what that lion's called. And I was like, what lion?
No.
So I'm actually going deaf.
I think that's it. With some of these edits, I might try and get captions on here as well because I think that does help.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, I like them a lot. I hope that they're going to exist. Australia's a cool idea.
Yeah. Can I just quickly check? Can you see my screen anymore? No, it's gone. Could you see?
I can only see us.
Could you see before? Could you see that?
It's back now.
All of that.
Yeah,
was
I can see the first two.
Awesome. All right. So what about your number 2 then? Let's do that.
Oh, just before I do, just completely aside.
Check out your number 2.
This, I'm sorry, Ollie. I'm derailed. You don't want to know about that, Ollie. But I'm just going to completely derail this for a second. You've not ever been to Australia, have you?
No, I haven't. No.
So I was talking to someone. My mate's Australian actually. We went to see an Aussie band on Tuesday, which is why we couldn't do this on Tuesday.
Okay, cool.
So I've been to Melbourne. That's all. Yeah, well, I've only been to Melbourne, and Melbourne was amazing. Like I almost moved there in the end. But one of the best things that they have, and lovely place, amazing. The wildlife's insane. The people are cool. Like it's a great place to live. Chicken salt, mate. It's like chicken flavored salt, but it's
really?
It's unbelievable. It's like unbelievable.
Chicken
KFC, like we went to KFC and on the chips they put chicken salt, and it's just it just makes everything better. Just makes everything better. I need to buy chicken salt. Trust. And I said to my mate the other day, I was like, the best thing in Melbourne, he was like, chicken salt, and I was like, bruv, yes.
That's insane. I've never heard of that. I wonder if that's going to inspire a Pokemon.
I hope so.
Maybe that's what.
And I like the idea of there being one called.
Yes, he's angry.
That'd be great. Brout becomes
salty.
KFC. Fire grass type would be cool. I don't know. We had one.
Yeah. One.
And like a Pokemon called Yeah Nah that turns into one called Nah Yeah. That's very Australian as well. I think we could really lean into it. I think that's cool.
Couldn't we? Yeah. Forget Indonesia altogether. No.
Yeah, we probably should.
Cool.
Shouldn't do that. That's a bit. Yeah.
So what's your number 2 then, Phil?
Right, my number 2. So this is something. Stop laughing at that sentence. You can't. This is something that people have been asking for forever, and it annoys me because we got this in Generation 5 to a certain extent. I've sort of lumped it together in terms of I would like there to be difficulty settings, and I would like there to be some sort of medals or achievements system. Now, Generation 5 gave us both of these things, and the problem is they weren't good, because the difficulty system, you had to beat the champion to unlock a key, and then trade that key. So I think if you had Pokemon White, you could get an easy version, and Pokemon Black, you could get a harder version.
Oh, really?
But who wants the easy version when you've beaten the champion already?
That's bizarre.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
So, and then like you had to trade with the other person to get the key. So if you had Pokemon Black or Pokemon White, sorry, to get the more difficult version, you had to trade keys with someone that had Pokemon Black. And it basically was this convoluted way of giving us something that they could have just been like, all the Pokemon are 5 levels higher. I mean, literally, that's all it was. Pokemon are 5 levels higher or something by the end of the game. So I'm hoping that from the beginning we'll get like a. All I want is it to be like easy, normal, hard, nightmare. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get a nightmare mode, but something like that.
See, I wonder,
like a proper challenge.
Off the back of that, a nice sort of compromise would be to have like a kind of new game plus system.
I almost wrote that as well.
I don't know what that would look like, but I mean, we've had things that are similar to it, where you're like invited back to, battle all the gym leaders again and that kind of thing. But I've got some end game ideas coming up, but I do feel like it would only help. I think Pokemon's in a really strange place now, where like every time we're given a really lengthy tutorial on how to play a game that we've been playing all of our lives, and even if it's for younger children or younger audiences, their reading's not that good yet. So it's either going to take them forever to get through it, and they are going to get bored and go off of it, or it's basically teaching people that know what they're doing how to suck eggs, and it's not really doing the job for anyone. So I think we need that.
The thing is as well, like it could be programmed to be the best of both worlds. You can program a tutorial that's skippable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like things like that. I'm a bit like,
all you need is like a, hey, have you look like someone that, have you caught a Pokemon before? It literally is like that easy, isn't it? There could be kind of like chunked off tutorial sections where it's like, okay, I've used the box system before. Yeah, I've done this before. Yes, I do. And it's like, well, you might have done that, but just saying this has changed. They could slip in a sentence where it's just like, this is new, this is different, but otherwise, crack on. But
it's like I feel like Let's Go Pikachu read my Switch save data and was like, "You've played this game, so you get this Pokemon," or whatever. No, it was.
It did.
Maybe it was Brilliant Diamond and Pearl.
All the games have.
You played this game, so here's a Mew. You've played this game, so here's a Celebi. You played this game, so here's a Pikachu. And I'm a bit like, you can read my data to see that I've played all these games, but you're teaching me how to beat this level 5 score bunny. Like, come on, man. Like,
and also, why
be reasonable about this?
Why bless you with a mythical Pokemon if you've never beaten a level 5 score bunny? That's the thing.
Like,
it's a bit
crazy.
But no, I completely agree. I just don't know who these systems are designed for sometimes, because I've seen it both sides. I've seen children kind of lose interest because it's taken too long to get through, or there's too much reading to do, and then I've seen adults complaining online about having to do this tutorial for the 50th time. So I don't know, it's a funky one, but that'd be awesome. Yeah, completely agree.
Nice.
Rightio. All right, ready for number 3?
I'm all ears, bruv. I'm all ears.
All right, this one's going to take a while, because essentially I've tried to make my predictions on what I think each of the starters are going to look like.
Okay, I'm excited to see him.
Okay,
I'm very excited.
This is Brout, the one that matters the most.
I'm buzzing about this, man.
And Brout it's got quite an obscure concept. Okay, so here is the owl from Legend of Zelda. Okay, I don't think it's going to look quite like this, but you can see how the angry eyebrows have elongated and it's looking quite fierce and grumpy still, which I think is going to be partly what's going on. Okay, right. So I'm trying to remember what the. Alright, get rid of that. So there's a plant called the Beringen. So if you look at Brout on the official Pokemon website, it lists him as like some sort of he's like a bean sprout Pokemon, or something like that. So he's essentially like part bird, part plant. and this is the national plant of Indonesia, essentially. And I think that could be really good inspiration for kind of like the pattern, the design of sort of the feathers, or kind of like the main sort of chest section of this particular Pokemon. I just feel like that pattern could look really good, and it could be a really good crossover, you know. But the other part, which really excites me, I think all three of these evolutions are going to be inspired by Indonesian art and Indonesian theatre. And there's one art form that's really cool, and Indonesia is really famous for its shadow puppetry. And I think it would be really cool if we had like Grass Dark or Grass Ghost, and essentially, so I'm calling this Pokemon Frownang, not Frowning, but Frownang, okay, because it's a crossover between Frown and Yanang. But essentially, I think it would be really cool if Brout's really angry, really frustrated, really pissed off still, but essentially uses could be like rooted in the ground still, or like attached to like a branch or whatever, so not necessarily flying. But I would love the idea of using its wing as like a backdrop, and then sort of fooling other Pokemon and sort of trapping them, teasing them, tormenting them, hypnotizing them, essentially using shadow puppetry. I just think that would be a really cool concept. So essentially, it's kind of like playing with the minds of all the other Pokemon, but it's using its shadow puppetry sort of art to kind of manipulate those around it. So
I love it.
Quite outlandish, but I just think it kind of fits this whole concept of Brout being like just innately angry, and if he's quite menacing and wants to kind of wind everyone up, then I don't know, I could see it being a thing, and it's I think it could be really cool. It just might so Frownang is what I'm thinking.
I love it, first of all, and second of all, I didn't know that Brout was part of Beansprout, and
yes.
You have improved my night immeasurably. I am very excited that he's a Beansprout, so thank you for telling me that.
Let's just quickly see. So Brout is described as a bean chick Pokemon.
Oh, man,
so he's been described as bird-like, and is a chick, but the word bean implies that he's sprouting, he's growing, he's a plant essentially. And I think that's where he's going to look very different to our other grass flying type, with Decidueye. So I think something that doesn't necessarily fly, that's grounded, that's able to, I just think the Yanang will be amazing. And if not, I think it's very likely that we're going to have like a ghost Pokemon that's like really creepy, and that uses shadow puppetry to kind of haunt and manipulate its opponent. So that's Frownang.
Yes, please. I would like that very much.
And then the other two, I think, they're a little bit more straightforward, but I can see them happening. All right, so this is the Pombun. Everyone loves Pombun. But what could happen? So Pombun is this very cute. You can't see my screen again. Is that a thing?
Oh, it's gone.
Now you can.
I know it's only because you got Brout out of the way, and you're like, no one needs to see the others.
Yeah, the others. Everyone,
only Brout.
Don't worry about picking your starter, guys. Even when I did the little teaser for this on TikTok, someone literally said, like, just posted a little GIF of Brout being like, I've already made my mind up. So this is Pombun. He's very innocent, very naive, very cute. And I'm thinking the opposite's going to happen. That he's gonna change, basically. Okay, so this is called Penang, and essentially it's quite common in a lot of Indonesian sort of theatre. And essentially, it's like a kind of there's a lot of kind of, it's like a lion dog essentially, but essentially lots of people will wear these kind of masks. They're quite sort of intense. They're quite intimidating. They're massive, But I think with the kind of dog that Pombon is, this is likely to happen. Like this kind of evolution where it leans itself towards these kind of costumes. So there's it's like a lion-like dog that has this kind of quite menacing, intimidating mask, and that was kind of the best picture I could find of a Penang that kind of complemented Pombon without using AI. So I was going to call it Pomberong. As you could probably tell,
Nice.
It's kind of got that Pombon feel still, but it's incorporating Panang, or it could be Pomberang, or I don't know, like it could be anything, couldn't it really? But I just think it's very likely that Pombon's going to evolve in this particular direction, and it's very distinctive and unique compared to like any other.
I'm persuaded, man. I'm persuaded. That's a cool idea. It's a very cool idea.
So yeah, that's the kind of the theatre connection.
I want him to still be cute though.
Yeah, I think it will be, but it wouldn't surprise me if it had like quite a static face. I don't know, like it was wearing a mask essentially, or even if it was a little Pombon inside of the mask. I don't know, like just
trapped forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's gonna evolve in that direction. And then the last one,
so we got a miserable owl and a trapped dog.
The last one is quite cool.
Cheerful, mate.
The last one. So one thing I've said about Gekwa. Is that I feel like they designed the final evolution first, because it just feels like the weakest of the starters. And I think they had a really fantastic concept for what it's going to end up being, and then they kind of had to work their way backwards. And the more I did some research into what Gekwa could be, the more I got quite excited. So obviously we know it's a gecko. We know it's like it's a play on words, isn't it, with like aqua and gecko, and sort of little watery gecko essentially. So I was doing some research into sort of geckos and lizards and sort of all these kind of creatures in Indonesia. And I came across a dancing gecko. Okay, so I've made it blue just for reference, but essentially, there are little geckos that this is how they move and dance and basically go about their daily lives. That they're very animated. They have incredible balance, and they do lots of crazy poses and all that kind of jazz. And essentially, they've inspired their own art form, their own dance, like Indonesian dance called Serimpi, where it's very elegant and it's very kind of beautiful, and it's essentially like to my very limited knowledge, it's kind of almost like an Indonesian take on like ballet. And essentially, it's when, it's a dance form where you're kind of almost imitating the kind of the movement of these particular gecko. So what I'm thinking is that Gekwa is going to evolve into Salarimpi. Okay, so it's like a salamander and a Sarimpi. I just felt like that kind of worked. But what I'm thinking is that it could go one of two ways, and that's why I've got the two pictures. It could be kind of more like Corguavo in the sense that it's like got this kind of dancey element, and it's quite sort of elegant. It can like balance on one foot and do lots of flips and that kind of stuff. Or this Sarimpi picture that I have, like I think it could go down like a water fighting kind of route, where it's almost like a kind of kung fu-y kind of. It's got incredible sense of like balance and all that jazz. So I feel like there's all sorts of things that they could do with it, but I don't think it's going to be poison, and I don't think it's going to be ground. I think it's going to be like fighting, or I don't know, I don't think fairy, but like I just can imagine it being like this very agile gecko.
That's cool.
So we've got
I like it.
Fraunang, Pombarang or Pombarong, and Salarimpi. And I just
Very nice.
personally, it's the idea of Brout evolving into Fraunang and being able to use its wing as like a backdrop and manipulate people with shadow puppets. I just think it'd be so awesome. Imagine like a menacing kind of Brout's head being able to like twist around like an owl as well while it's doing it. Like it would be really disturbing.
Man, yeah. I mean, obviously, we all know that Rowlet is the best starter that they've ever created. And there's no bias in that at all. But obviously, I think that Rowlet was perfectly cute. It was like the perfect design. And then the evolution into Decidueye being the coolest was such a good design. And
Especially
so I'm
the bone.
hoping, like you say, they do something similar here.
I'm really holding out for Gekwa. Like, I know I won't choose Gekwa, but I'm just really hoping that Gekwa has like the coolest evolution out of the three. Just because I'm very confident that they designed the final evolution first.
I want them to make me regret not choosing Gekwa.
No, definitely. I'm just surprised by how much everyone's not Team Pombon. And when you think about how much people love dogs and how cute Pombon is, it blew my mind that Brout is getting so much attention.
I've noticed this. I mean, Pombons. I feel like people want something that's cute but shows some sort of like human emotion in that, like, one of the favourites
They can be attached to it. It's true.
Yeah, well, like one of the favourites of Gen 9 was Fuecoco because it had nothing going on in its brain. Do you know what I mean? And people were like, "Yes, it's stupid. I love it." And so it's interesting that I suppose Brout people have gone, "Oh, it's angry. I can get on board with that." Yeah, no, it's fair enough. It's cool. I like it. So, yeah.
It's so cute. All right. So your number 3 then. What's your number 3?
I've been quite vague when I've said this, but I'll explain what I mean. I just wrote "conclude the mysteries," which sounds like some sort of Johnny Depp like fragrance. But
it does,
it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Spray
Johnny Depp, "Conclude the Mysteries" by Prada.
The fragrance.
No, but like eau de parfum. But I suppose, right, I want this game to be a celebration of everything that we've had so far.
Definitely.
And I think when we look back, there's been so many mysteries that have sort of been explained, but sort of haven't been explained. And I'd love them to have some sort of linking, overarching story that sort of links it all together. So, for example, in Gen 1, why the hell was there a truck by the SS Anne? Because it wasn't to hide Mew. We all thought it was. But why was there a truck there? Generation 2. What the hell's going on with Unknown? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're cool, and I get that there's like a link to certain bits and like the legendary dogs and whatever. But what?
Yeah, and I think there's sometimes these mysteries are kind of they're addressed in some of the films, but they almost feel like they're not canon in the sense that they just don't really get acknowledged by anything ever.
Yeah, I agree, because I know there's links, but then also I'm thinking like so do you remember in X and Y, you go into that building and this ghost girl comes up to you and goes, "Nah, bruv, it's not you," and she walks off, and it's never mentioned again. Nothing. And it happens, and if you go back in, it doesn't happen again. It happens one time. They released Legends ZA, which was the perfect time to address it, and I don't think they did, or I've not found it. And I'm just like, who the hell was that? Sorry,
This has been disturbing you for a very long time, hasn't it?
Man, I see her in my nightmare. No, but like, I'd love it if they like sort of actually were like, yeah, actually, lol, she was this person, and it turns out that she was referring to the character of the main character of Gen 10. If she appears out of nowhere and she's like, "You are the one," oh man, I'm gonna lose my mind. You are
Yeah,
you are the one. Let's go find out the mystery of the unknown. And I'll be like that. Vince
No, of course.
Vince McMahon, like, oh, I just knocked everything off my table.
Oh no. But no, it's so true. It's there's always a lot of kind of potholes, isn't there? Really, and yeah, it'd be nice to have a lot of that addressed. And I think actually maybe it'd be a perfect game for it in the sense of like you've got all these little islands that can kind of you could be uncovering the mystery of all these like very kind of unique insular kind of events, perhaps.
Yeah, just little bits. It would just be nice to have it all sort of tie itself together a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
For the like as a precursor to your MMO idea. Do you know what I mean? Oh, this has got ideas from all the different generations. Oh, what might we do next?
I wonder if we'll.
You know what I mean?
Now he's not in the anime, we might see Ash in the game.
Oh man!
You never know.
Why would you say that to me? Why would you say that to me? Because now that could tie into my idea of. Get my hopes up, man.
But yeah, that would be cool. You never know. I think he'll return in the anime. To be honest. He'll be like 11 years old. No.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Or he's grown up. Yeah, maybe he didn't grow up for 25 years, and now he comes back and he's got like
3 little big, goatee
like,
hairs.
Grey, like a grey beard.
Oh right, yeah.
And he's got like a kid.
Yeah.
And
he's 13, but he's like got more wrinkles than.
Yeah, King. He's been like working an office job and he's fed up of it. Yeah.
All right, my number 4 then. Yeah, are we ready?
Go for it.
You're gonna love this one, in particular. Okay, that wasn't meant to come up first, was it? Yeah, it was. Okay, so wind and waves, winds and waves, winds and waves, waves, sea exploration. And we've been given loads of pictures of the sea and how important the sea is going to be in this game. But there's not been as much talk about winds, and it's probably just because the game is weather related, and that's going to be a big part of the gimmick of the game, and that this is all a load of rubbish. But what if, dun dun dun, think of Tears of the Kingdom. What if the end game was a little bit like the mega dimensions, in the sense that you've got all these kind of these different strange extra these crazy sort of cross-dimensional sort of occurrences and things happening across the world, but actually it gave us these kind of like islands to explore, and essentially there was like a sense of verticality to the game, and we were actually like suddenly there was way more of the map to explore, lots of mystery in the sky. I think it could be a really cool way of. I think Pokemon's in a really weird place now, where you need excuses for like paradox Pokemon and like time travel, and all these Pokemon that don't really have like a logical reason for why they're in the game. And I think this could be a really good means of doing that. It could be that there's a really powerful legendary Pokemon that creates typhoons and like natural disasters of some sort, and is able to kind of manipulate time and sort of maybe the location of different land, or they can sort of basically manipulate the world, or redesign the world. And I just think it'd be a really cool concept if that's where sort of the winds kind of come into play. I just think the games are very much called Winds and Waves, and I know that the weather's going to be significant in this game, and that this is probably not going to amount to being anything, but it would be a really fantastic way of transforming the game once you've completed the main story.
I suppose I hadn't even entertained the thought that we wouldn't be exploring the sky, and I'm not sure why I thought that, but I guess I presumed that we would be in the sky at one point. I don't know.
Well,
I
the thing
hope
is,
we are.
there's lots of islands and there's a lot of sea to explore, but I just think that there's just going to be so much scope for that. I mean, likewise, I don't know what they're going to give us that's going to make us want to be under the sea all the time.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like in most games, when you've got the ability to go underwater, it's kind of like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I don't need to go back under there though. It's yeah, I don't know. And I mean, I know that Tears of the Kingdom was super popular for lots of reasons, but maybe this would be a really good way of.
You almost want an updated. Do you remember in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when we got you could ride Megalatios around?
Yeah.
And you go to different islands. You always want that sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm not necessarily picturing kind of like 50 islands that are just flying in the sky, but I just think in terms of a unique spin on having an excuse and a reason for having sort of Pokemon in the past and future present within this game, that could make sense.
I want it, please, Ollie. Make it happen.
Couldn't it?
Yeah. My friend works at Nintendo. Make it happen.
Can you imagine? Please. Right. What about you? What's your number 4?
Ollie, I'm going to ask you a big question.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to ask you a big question here. Have you played The Witcher 3?
Ooh. Not to completion, but yes, I have.
Don't worry, nor have I. I've played the first hour of it about 7 times. Because every time I play it, it's a great hour, and the rest of the game's probably really good too. But Pokemon keeps releasing games, and I keep getting distracted. But the reason I ask is because that is also an open world game with combat in it, that every so often you'll meet someone who wants to play a card game with you. Now, what if
that would be
with
cool.
the hype of TCG Pocket, we are able to collect a set of TCG cards as we travel around the islands. Maybe we can buy some of them, trade for some of them. I'm not talking a load, but maybe there's sort of like a collection of maybe 500 in like 4, a bit like the original TCG game. Maybe there's like 5 sets that you can get from, and they have like, I don't know, even like 50 cards in each set. And the idea would be that, I suppose, a little bit like Scarlet and Violet, you've got your gyms and you've got Team Star, but then, or whatever, but maybe one of the things that you're doing is like linked into this TCG thing where you're actually competing against people as a separate little challenge. I just think whilst the hype is real, it would be such a cool thing for them to include.
Could be really cool. Yeah, no, definitely. I think I'd be interested to know how they could. What's the card game in Witcher 3 called? Is it Ghent? Is that right?
Yeah, Gwent or Ghent or something like that. Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, I'm wondering. It would be really cool. I just wonder if it would be like a unique spin on the card game, or would it be like TCG in itself? I don't know. It would be a really cool way of incorporating it, though.
Maybe whatever the unique, like, because we're gonna get a mechanic, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
But maybe whatever the mechanic is could be released in the TCG game in that before we get it in the actual cards or something like that. Could be a really cool, like, I don't know.
Really cool.
I've just forever wanted some sort of TCG mode within it as well.
No, that'd be amazing to have, wouldn't it? It's no, I don't think it's ever been humoured at all, really. There's not even been. I don't think there's even been references to the card game in. I don't know why there would be.
No, and it's a shame because obviously we got the TCG game on the Game Boy, and then Japan got the second one, which like introduced like 20 new cards or something.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like TCG Gold and Silver, and I think basically it was the 4 sets from the original, and then like 1 set that had like 20 Pokemon from Johto.
Sheesh.
and it was a bit of a flop. I don't know why it would have flopped. Can you imagine why it would have flopped when it had only like 10% new gameplay? No idea. And then obviously it's never been mentioned ever again, ever, except when they released an app that made them billions of pounds. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That would be a really cool idea, though. I think them being able to sort of humour other aspects of the Pokemon franchise would be wonderful. I think also just having the game would benefit. This isn't on my list, but it would benefit from having a customizable kind of space as well. You could collect like plushies of your favorites and decorate your room, and that kind of thing.
I'd like that.
I think that would be. It wouldn't necessarily be something I would use much as a feature, but there's a lot of people that would.
I think like taking some ideas of Pokopia, maybe.
That's it. And I think maybe we're in a similar window where it's like, oh, Pokopia's been really popular. Oh, people have really loved this feature. Oh, we won't be able to implement this but maybe next time we can. Yeah. All right. Do you want to do your last one, or should I?
You go for your last one, and then I'll do mine. Is yours a big one?
It's something I desperately want, but it's not the most exciting thing.
Okay. I think mine's pretty...
Yeah, that's cool. I'll go next. Right. I don't think this is ever going to happen, but it needs to be said. It needs to be addressed. No shiny locks. Okay, so here we go. Here's a list of all the Pokemon that are currently shiny locked. And bear in mind that some of them are pretty old. So we've got Hooper, we've got Volcanion, we've got Cosmoem, which make no sense because you can get Solgaleo and you can get Lunala in shiny form. So why they've ever been shiny locked is beyond me. We've got Magiana, both forms. You can't even get the other form, I don't think, at all. You've got Marshadow, never been available as a shiny. And then we had the Sword and Shield Pokemon. So we had Kubfu, Urshifu, Zarude, Glastrier, Spectria, and Calyrex, all shiny locked for no reason. And then Blood Moon Ursaluna was also strangely shiny locked, even though it had nothing to do with... It wasn't like a legendary or it wasn't a mythical, etc. Then Scarlet and Violet came along. Basically all of the legendaries in that game were shiny locked, along with Walking Away. And, basically all of the DLC Pokemon. Basically every legendary and mythical in Scarlet and Violet was shiny locked. Which I kind of almost understand it for like Petulant and like Terrapagus and that. I can almost understand that, but like when you think about how old Hooper is, it's just beyond me, because I think Pokemon have got a real issue with people genning their games, like hacking their games, creating illegal shinies, not being able to use them in competitive settings, all that kind of stuff. They design the shinies, they code the shinies, and then they never actually release them. And it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. And I think even if you just made it so that these Pokemon were available, but it was just blooming hard. If you had like a 1 in 4,096 chance of them happening to be shiny when you catch them, I think at least that would make sense, and they'd be really rare, and they could be legitimate and legalized, and they warrant an existence. But I just think Gen 10 would be a really wonderful time to just be like, that's not a thing anymore. And I think this is probably the thing I want the most, but it's not the most exciting.
No, but it is, because it's actually just giving us Pokemon that we've never had access to.
It's just caused a lot of upset over the years, hasn't it? That's the thing.
Of course. I mean, the problem is mythicals to a certain extent. I get it with, but at the same time they need to sort that out. Because like for me, and probably for you as well, I can't think of anything more boring than going, oh, I need to get this whole Pokedex and transfer it to Pokemon Home.
Mm-hmm. And I think
Like,
that's the sad thing, right? I've got almost every Pokemon in shiny form, and they live in a box in home, and I can't use them anymore. And every single time I send a Pokemon from Go to home, I'm just like, man, like I would have used that like every day, and now I'm not. I'm just not going to get to see it, and it's only because then it can sit in my little collection, and it's just a bit sad. Like people, buy these games, the developers code and design these shinies, and then code them into the games, and then we're put in a position where no one ever gets them. And I just think maybe if we're one generation behind, you could kind of understand it, but like when you're looking at especially Cosmog and Cosmoem, they're so old, and you can get shinies of their evolutions. Like it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, it's interesting because obviously Pokemon Go had to get permission to do Shiny Mew for the 5th anniversary or whatever it was, because Shiny Mew has been such a rare thing. I don't think you could get Shiny Mew since there was like an event for Emerald or something, and I think that's one of the last times you could officially get Shiny Mew, except with the the little Pokeball Plus that you could get for Legends. Not Legends. Let's Go.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a 1 in 4,000 chance you could get a shiny.
No, really.
Apparently, I don't know. It's urban legend, bruv. Urban legend. People buying 4,000 Pokeballs.
But it's just so. It is just so sad because I just think it just doesn't make any. It just doesn't make any sense. Like the thing is, they want people playing their games, so you'd actively want the people that are interested in this to be resetting 4,000 times and getting their shiny. Like they would want that. They're special, they're unique, they're rare. But it just doesn't seem like it's in their best interest at all. And especially now we're in the UK where games just closed down, we don't really have a place to distribute codes, really.
No,
it's not like we all have our sort of high street retailers anymore. So going in to pre-order the game to then get a shiny, a shiny redemption code, it doesn't really work like that anymore, does it? So I just think it's time. I think they just let go of it because it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, I've heard people say the reason they do it is because often a legendary is part of the story, and it's like a really important part of the story, and what they don't want is people to get that part of the story and then have to reset for 4 days straight.
Yeah, I get that.
And I get it. It's like, well, then have a second one that you can shiny hunt.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that'd be nicer.
That'd
be a really cool.
They gave us 2 Miraidons, didn't they? Like, I feel like
technically
you could go back and catch a second one.
I think technically you've got the one you ride on, and then you collect. You get one thing.
Yeah.
But no, it's a bit, especially with like, so say for instance, I'm trying to remember the name of it now. The Pokemon with the mask that was in the teal mask. What was it called? Ogerpon. So Ogerpon has 4 variants. And it's like, right, what's the point in having a shiny form that no one's ever going to see? Like,
yeah.
And it's you look at like Gouging Fire and like Raging Bolt, and you look how cool their shinies are. Their shinies are basically like really nice throwbacks to sort of the original shinies of Suicune and Entei and Raikou, and like it just doesn't make any sense why we wouldn't have those.
Yeah, I agree, man. I completely agree. It's wasted potential,
and we're always second guessing when we're going to get them and why we're going to get them. But I think it's just, I don't know. It's the thing that's baffled me the most for the longest time, and I just really hope Gen 10's where they kind of decide to drop it, because I think we're past the point now where they could be like, oh, here's a code for everyone's going to get their shiny Volcanion. Like that's
well, they're going to have to do it as like an online whatchamacallit, like a mystery gift, and it's like,
Yeah,
let me earn it. Don't make me go, oh, I've connected to the internet. Here's a shiny.
yeah,
No,
or
let me.
like you've completed the Pokédex and then here's the shiny, but it's not yours. It's got a silly name. It's got like a
Yeah,
the original
yeah,
trainer
yeah.
is just called Home, or like it's never consistent as well. It's never like just like a obvious, oh, that was a handout. Sometimes it's just like it's got like a Spring 2016, and it's like, why would I want a shiny that just says that it's the original trainer was Spring 2016?
Yeah. Can I own this, please? Please, I
Yeah.
paid 60 quid for it.
And
Please.
I think actually it comes back to Pokemon Go as well. Like I think one of the reasons people care so much about Pokemon Go is because like it's the only legitimate means of like owning a lot of these shinies. So like we've just had Diancie, haven't we? And we've just had Shaman.
Mm.
And I literally work really hard to get that shiny with my name to then send to home. So it's part of my collection. And it's the only way of getting them. And like you might be out there at quest for like 4 months just so you can then just send that one little Pokemon to the box, and it just seems a bit backwards. Like that should be its own separate collection, I think. But oh well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree.
Right.
So.
Last but not least.
Right. So, Ollie, what are the 3 best Pokemon games of all time?
3 but what? According to me or according to everyone?
No. Just in according to the truth.
Mainline or
what are the best? No. Just the
general?
top 3. You know
my
them.
top 3. Okay, so my top 3 that I've played are, I'd say Legends Arceus. I mean, the thing is, I haven't played a lot of the best ones that people absolutely adore. I think Legends Arceus is probably Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Fire Red and Leaf Green. They're probably the 3 most popular.
Good, that's good. Well, you're wrong, but there's some good games there as well. But
we're going to talk about pinball again.
No, not pinball, mate. First of all, don't you throw shade at me for liking the pinball games. Right, I think 3 of the biggest, most renowned games are Emerald, Platinum, and Heart Gold Soul Silver. Now, what do those 3 games have in common? They end with the Battle Frontier.
Ooh, okay.
Now, I am desperate for them to, and it's interesting because after Gen 4 they tried other ways of doing this and it just wasn't as good. So Gen 3 we had the Battle Frontier and it was the OG one and it was insane, and some people complained about certain things which I agree with, and then Gen 4 sort of streamlined it slightly to be, okay, you need less battles and there's less things and this, that, the other. And then Gen 5, you were in a tree. I don't really know what happened. And then Gen 6, you were just in a mansion and there were 2 women that were dressed maybe as prostitutes. Ollie, the game's got weird. So that happened. And then Gen 7, 8, 9, they've not really had... I mean, Gen 8, you had the Battle Tower, but it was... Yeah. Here's my suggestion. I would like a Battle Frontier where the leaders of each of the things is one of the champions that we've seen from Gen 1 to 9.
Okay.
So I'd like a Battle Tower where maybe at the end of the double battle route you double battle against Red and Blue.
Yeah, sure. No, that sounds really cool.
To win that, and then like maybe, and it could be that. So it'd be cool if there were like ones that were kind of based around the gimmicks as well. So maybe like you could have like one that you can get Mega Evolution Pokemon in. There'd be other rules as well. Because did you ever play the Battle Frontier?
I did not. No, I've not.
I
know about it.
You'd love it. So,
but how
Emerald.
Yeah, go on.
Well, no, I was just going to say, in terms of Emerald, they had a really weird mix of things, but it made it really interesting. So, there were seven different things. The battle tower is your run of the mill fight lots, and then they had the battle, whatever it was called, where you rented Pokemon. So there were 6 choices, and you chose 3 out of the 6. And as you got higher up, you saw less information. So you just see like the name of the Pokemon, but you wouldn't see their attacks and stuff. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
You sort of had to like build your team around that. But then after you beat someone, you could swap one of your Pokemon with one of theirs.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
And it just gave this really cool just a new way of thinking about like strategy and whatever.
It's essentially like a Pokemon roguelike, isn't it? Really, in terms of that's amazing.
Exactly that. And then there was one where you had to choose one of 3 routes, and it was all kind of luck based. And it was like you might end up fighting against someone, or it might be someone that heals your stuff, or it might be someone that gives you an item. And it was cool.
Yeah.
And then you could like speak to the person, and they might give you a clue.
The max raid layers kind of took from that a little bit, then, didn't they? In Sword and Shield.
100%.
That's cool.
And the Dynamax Adventures, I think, for me, was the highlight of the DLC.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was fantastic, that. And especially, once again, big reason for it, everything was shiny huntable. Like, almost everything.
100%.
100%. I mean, I admittedly haven't done much shiny hunting of the legendaries in that game, but like, knowing that every single one of them could be, made a huge difference.
Man, I became a problem. When that came out, I was just like, I'm going to fight this Groudon until it kills me. And I think I might have eventually I've got to double check, I think I actually got my shiny Groudon. But it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun by the end. It was it was
took
good.
A long time to get one rolled, isn't it? For sure. But no, it's and it's nice that you could just, you do it, and you got a 1 in 25 chance of getting a shiny, haven't you? Overall. Just might not.
We should do that actually. That would be good. That would be a fun little. We could team up on some Dynamax Adventures.
That could be quite fun on stream or something. Yeah. With
that would be good.
I'm just wondering, are there any kind of honourable mentions, things you considered or wanted to mention, but you didn't think they were worthy of the cut? A big one.
I wanted to.
Yeah, go on.
No, you go. Go for it.
I was going to just mention, I thought a long time about online kind of functionality, and I do think it's going to be like quite open worldy, and you're going to be able to have. I think they'll just follow in the same route. I think you'll be able to like travel around anywhere with a few friends. Wouldn't even surprise me if you could game share to Switch 1. If they stayed near you, and then it really tanked sort of resolution and frame rate. But I feel like that might be a really good trade-off, where it's only coming to Switch 2, but actually you can share it with each other. I don't know. I
that
don't
could be cool.
Don't know how much I'd care about that feature and use it, but I think it means a lot to some people for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I tried to think about what the new mechanic would be before I realised that I don't know if I care. It sounds awful, but I feel like since Gen 6, we've always had to have a new mechanic. Every time we've got to have something new.
They've kind of shot themselves in the foot here, haven't they, with it, I think.
Yeah, because like the Megas, man, I don't think you can get better than that. I don't know how you. I did quite a lot of thinking. I was like, I don't really know how you'd get better than that. And then obviously Gen 7 was Z moves, which was only funny because you could throw a Pikachu at them. Gen 8 was the Dynamax stuff, which was
Dynamax was cool, but it was either like Mega Evolution anyway, with the Gigantamax forms, or it was just bigger and stronger Pokemon, which worked really well in the stadiums. But it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I loved the stadium battles, I have to say.
Yeah, that was cool.
But making the Pokemon just big doesn't quite do it, I don't think. It's not necessary.
And it's a bit like you got 3 turns where your HP's doubled. And I'm like, cool, I think.
Yeah. But no, I know what you mean. Like I would quite happily, as a trade-off, I would just quite happily have some new Mega Evolutions every generation. But
yeah,
don't know.
What I feel worst about, I think, is that when they explained how terrestrialization was going to work, I was like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You send out a Scyther and then you terrestrialize and it becomes fire type. But I think there could have been some sort of slight change about the Pokemon to reflect that, as opposed to it's just got a flame on its head. It's holding a candle on its head.
Yeah. No,
you know, there could have been something more than that to make it just a bit more interesting and integrated than what we ended up with, which is a shame because battle-wise, it's such a cool idea.
It's just it's a very cool concept. It's just quite boring, isn't it? Really, I think it's they kind of shoot themselves in the foot here as well. Where, I mean, it all went downhill with Sword and Shield in the sense that they were the first games where we didn't have a complete Pokédex. But like, there's so many Pokemon that need to kind of manage juggling this new gimmick that it's just a lot of legwork, isn't it? So I'm hoping, like with Champions, they don't have to worry about the battling so much. But one thing I was going to ask about the Battle Frontier was like, if the combat isn't traditionally turn-based, how's that going to have an impact on the Battle Frontier? Because I don't know about you, but I really couldn't care less about the ZA online battles. Like, it's just absolute chaos. It doesn't do anything for me.
I agree. I literally was doing it at one point. I think one season I got up to like D, and then I was a bit like, I'm a bit done with this. It's interesting that you bring that up though, because that would be the perfect example of what could be one of the things at the Battle Frontier. There could be one that you go to and it's turn based. It's not turn based, and that could be a really cool way to show like an homage to that.
Yeah.
But not have it. You could have a Legends Arceus one where it's like you've got the agile style or the strong style.
I think you're talking about Champions though. That's the thing.
Maybe. I just think because I think Champions is going to be I think it's exactly what it's meant to be, which is an absolute mess of everything that's possible without it being divided up much. Whereas I think having it that it's divided up, and maybe having an online mode, but also having it so that there's NPCs that you play against, and then you have someone at the end that you beat, and you sort of are collecting these little stamps from each one to try and be the best. Do you know what I mean? I just think it'd be really cool, and just having the idea of and it's the champion from I've beaten this thing, and now because I've beaten 30 people in a row, I fight against the champion from Generation 5, and that would, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would just be a fun way of tying it all together. But I get what you mean with Champions. It might be too close, but maybe they're using Champions as a way of working out which battle styles people would be most interested in for it.
Yeah. I mean,
or they just scrap the whole game. Pokemon Pinball 3. No, sorry.
there's a lot of really exciting things that they could do with this, I think. But I think one of my main interests is the Pokemon. Like, what Pokemon are we going to see? And I think it'd be really cool to do another one of these, but to focus on, I don't know, however many Pokemon that we would love to see in the game. Maybe we could come up with like concepts or ideas of, like for their names or that kind of thing. I think there could be some really cool Pokemon proposed. I mean, I kind of did that a little bit, but
maybe we do 3 new ones and 3 new versions of
Mhm.
old ones or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd
be cool.
We will have to have a think, but yeah, no, cool, man.
Pokemon.
I need this game, bruv. I need this game.
Yeah, but what about in the meantime then? Do you think so? We've got Fire Red and Leaf Green. Do you think we're gonna have Heart Gold and Soul Silver before it comes out? I mean, we're in the heat of Pokopia. We've got Champions coming out next month, which feels almost too soon. But what's going to happen between then?
Well, it's a bit. If anything, it's a bit overwhelming. This is exactly what we asked for, and I hate it. The house is on fire. It's too much. Because
you're not getting much time to actually play a lot of these first party games.
No, and it's like
it's brilliant.
I'm on Pokopia, and I'm like, I need to do all this stuff. Hang on, I've not done my daily task. I've not done this or that, the other.
Yeah.
And then I'm on Fire Red, and I'm like, oh, I need to do this, and then I got a notification. Oh, we've released Gale of Darkness. I'm like, stop.
Well, that's it.
Please,
what are you meant to do? Like, you can't realistically play any of them properly, can you?
I'm just like, please stop. This is exactly what I asked for, and you knew better than me, Game Freak or Pokemon Company. You knew better than me.
But
clearly.
Also, if we've got so much to play right now, and then Champions is coming out in April, what's the plan? Like, surely they've got some tricks up their sleeve between now and 2027. Another thing I really want to talk about on the channel is Nintendo Direct stuff, because I think when they very recently kind of given release dates for all the games that we know are coming. So like, we know when Yoshi's coming out, we know when Tomodachi Life's coming out. There are very few games now that are left without a release date, and I've got a feeling we're going to get a Direct incredibly soon, and there's going to be a lot of big stuff revealed. Most notably, I think we're going to get the Legend of Zelda game announced. But I just think it could be really good to do a bit of a Direct predictions, because I don't think it's not going to be long.
Ollie, man, you can't say there's going to be a new Legend of Zelda game. I've got to sleep tonight, man. I need to try and get to sleep.
What I want is a Smash Ultimate Switch 2 edition with an extra fighter pass. Well, not even just an extra fighter pass, but like, just if they gave us 4 new fighters and a new map, and it was just smoother in some way. I don't know how it's going to be smoother, but I just think, how cool would that be? Even if it was just like, here's Waluigi. Maybe we could do another one where we're focusing on like who the next Smash fighters might be, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
there's all sorts of exciting things. Brout. But yeah, there we go. There's just saying, Mario Tennis is really good. Really good.
Is it good?
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Ollie, stop it, man! I can't afford all these things that I want to buy.
It's funny because like Pokopia, I'm enjoying it, but like, there's a little part of me that's like, hang on, do I want to do that? Do I? You know, there's a lot of it just feels like a bit like Animal Crossing, in the sense that you're just doing mundane tasks, and it's like, this isn't. Am I enjoying this? I don't know. I'm having to like second guess myself sometimes.
Yeah, I've had to I've got to the point where I'm sort of alternating between it and other games, because I'm very much like, I've got to the point where I'm like, I'll build a house, and then it's like, the house will be built tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's an excuse to play Pokemon Leaf Green.
Yeah, that's it. I've not played it much at all, but it's like, there's some parts that I'm really intrigued by. Like, I think the main thing is just the fact it's like such a, you know, a swan, well, not a swan song, but like it's a real celebration of the original generation, isn't it? I think when I first realized, you know, like being on the SS group, the SS, and it blew my mind. I was like, what? This is what this is.
Yeah.
But there we go.
It's impressive, man. Whether or not it's a game that's made with us in mind, it's it's a stunning game, and I don't think you can ever do everything that exists in it. I think it's made so that you can't beat it because it's just going to be a forever game.
And
which I think is clever.
For me, I'm just really just so chuffed that it's been received so well. It's been really lovely to see a Pokemon game come out and it just be like 9 out of 10 reviews everywhere.
Yeah.
To the point where they pulled it off the shelves and they're like, we actually don't have any stock.
Yeah.
When was the last time that's happened? And it's wonderful. And I mean, I think Animal Crossing needed the competition really. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's nice to see. So. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we should wrap up there because it's quite late. Isn't it? Oh God, it's very late. Ugh.
Well, we keep doing this. We're like, yeah, we'll have a little chat. 2 hours later.
Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, some very cool predictions. And what I'll do is I'll chop some of this up and put it into some shorts and share that around too.
Perfect, man.
And then
yeah.
But yeah, we're up to 20,000 views on YouTube now.
20,000.
And then we've got we're getting there. We're doing lots of bits and bobs, and hopefully going to start doing some long videos on YouTube and popping them out too. But we'll see.
Nice.
I'm just knackered.
Sounds. Yeah.
And then
we've done a good little run today. Some good stuff.
Yeah. Some really cool predictions. The sea is a big reveal, and I feel like we're going to get some cool reveals in the near future. In the coming months. I agree.
I'm hoping that we get some sort of maybe Champions comes out, and then maybe like in the summer we get like a little teaser trailer or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a little something to keep us going. Do you know what I mean?
I think we could very easily get nothing for another sort of 6 months, couldn't we? For sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But we can hope. We can always hope.
Yeah.
So no, nice one, man.
That's cool. But yeah, have a lovely evening. Thank you very much for watching this, whether you were with us at some point or watching it in the future. And hopefully we'll do another one soon, talking about some Pokemon. Maybe doing some predictions of Pokemon that we'd love to see. I think that could be a nice good one to do next at some point.
And you know what's mad is next time we do one of these videos, I might not even be in this house.
Yeah.
Wild.
I thought you were going to say I might not even be here. Sort of thing.
I might be dead. No.
It's going to be in your new house.
So yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today, young Phil. And then maybe we can play some games together at some point. That would be fun.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Awesome. But yeah, keep safe, and then see you all later.
Goodbye. See you later.
Juicy.